Hi, everyone. It's Sarah. I want to start today by asking you a question, and I want you to really sit with it for a moment before we go any further. What makes you happy? Not what should make you happy, not what makes other people happy, not what looks good from the outside. What actually, genuinely, honestly makes you happy? It sounds like such a simple question, and yet I spent years not being able to answer it clearly. Years chasing a version of happiness that I had been told to want without ever stopping to ask myself whether it was the version I actually wanted. Today, I want to talk about happiness, real happiness, what it actually is, what it is not, and what it has come to mean to me personally after years of searching in the wrong places. This is one of the most personal stories I have told on this channel, and I hope from the bottom of my heart that something in it resonates with you. I grew up with a pretty clear picture of what happiness was supposed to look like. Good grades, good college, good job, nice apartment, nice clothes, a full social calendar, achievements you could point to and say, look, I did that. Look how well things are going. And I worked hard for all of those things. I genuinely did. I was a good student. I got a good job. I built a comfortable life in a city I loved. By every external measure, external means visible from the outside, what other people can see, my life looked successful and happy. But somewhere in my mid-20s, I started noticing a gap, a quiet but persistent gap between how my life looked and how my life felt. I would achieve something I had been working toward, a promotion, a goal, a milestone, and feel a brief rush of satisfaction and then nothing, flatness. The feeling would fade within days, sometimes hours, and I would be back to where I started, already looking for the next thing to achieve. I remember sitting at my desk one afternoon after receiving genuinely good news at work, news I had been hoping for months, and thinking, why don't I feel happier? What is wrong with me? Nothing was wrong with me, but I did not know that yet. What I was experiencing had a name, I just had not learned it yet. It's called the hedonic treadmill, and understanding it changed everything for me. The hedonic treadmill, I'll explain this one because it's important for the whole story, is the human tendency to return to a baseline level of happiness after good or bad events. No matter what happens to you, good or bad, you eventually adapt and return to roughly the same emotional baseline you started at. A big achievement makes you happy for a while. Then you adapt, and you need something bigger to feel that happiness again. Like a treadmill, you keep running, but you never actually move forward. I was on that treadmill without knowing it, running hard, getting nowhere. The shift started slowly, and it started, as many important things in my life have started, with a conversation I was not expecting to matter. I was having coffee with my friend Rachel on a Sunday morning about 3 years ago. We were talking about life in the way you do with a close friend, honestly, without the performance. Rachel said something that stopped me completely. She said, I think I used to confuse happiness with excitement, and they're not the same thing at all. I put down my coffee cup. I sat with that for a moment. Happiness with excitement, not the same thing. I had never thought about it that way, but the moment she said it, I knew it was true. I knew it from somewhere deep and immediate inside me. Excitement is loud. It's a spike, a sharp, high peak of feeling. Getting a promotion, buying something new, going on a trip, falling into the early rush of a new relationship. Exciting things are wonderful, but they're temporary by nature. The spike always comes back down. Happiness, real happiness, is quiet. It's not a spike, it's a floor, a steady, warm, reliable feeling underneath everything else. Not dramatic, not loud, just solid, present, real. I went home from that coffee and I thought about it for days. What in my life felt like a spike and what felt like a floor? The spikes were easy to identify. Achievements, new purchases, social validation, the feeling of being liked and approved of by other people. the excitement of novelty, new things, new experiences, the energy of something beginning. The floors were quieter, harder to see at first because they were so ordinary. Cooking a meal slowly on a Sunday evening with music playing, walking outside in the early morning when the world is still quiet, a long, honest conversation with someone I truly trusted, feeling genuinely useful at work, not praised, not promoted, just useful. Reading a book so good that I forgot where I was. My morning coffee, drunk slowly, with nowhere to be. Small things, ordinary things, things that were not exciting, things that would never make a good photograph for social media. But they were the floors. They were the steady, warm, real thing underneath everything else, and I had been ignoring them completely, too busy chasing the spikes. That realization opened something in me, and over the following months and years, I started paying attention differently. I started noticing what filled me and what drained me. Filled means gave me energy and a sense of well-being. Drained means took energy away, left me feeling empty or tired or slightly less like myself. Some things that looked like they should fill me actually drained me. Big social events where I performed happiness for a room full of people, scrolling through carefully curated images of other people's lives and comparing them to my own, saying yes to things I didn't actually want to do because I was afraid of disappointing someone. And some things that looked ordinary or even boring actually filled me deeply. A slow weekend morning with no plans, writing in my journal, a long, honest conversation with one or two people I genuinely loved, moving my body, being in nature, doing something creative with my hands. I started making choices based on this distinction, the distinction between what fills and what drains. And slowly, my life started to feel different. Not dramatically, not overnight, but gradually, steadily, the way a room slowly brightens as the sun rises. I started saying no more often, not rudely, not carelessly, but honestly. I can't come to that party, but thank you for the invitation. I need a quiet weekend. I'm going to stay home. The first few times I said no, I felt guilty. Then I felt relieved. Then, with practice, I felt free. I started protecting my mornings. Mornings became sacred to me. Quiet time before the world needed anything from me. Coffee, journal, a walk, a book. No phone for the first hour. Just me and the morning and the simple, steady pleasure of being alive and awake. I started investing more in a few deep relationships and less in maintaining a wide circle of surface connections. Surface connections are relationships that are broad but not deep. Many acquaintances, much social activity, but not much genuine intimacy. I wanted fewer, deeper, more honest connections, and when I started building those, I felt less lonely than I ever had when my social calendar was full. So, what does true happiness mean to me now? I have thought about this carefully, and here is what I have come to believe. Not as a final answer, because I think happiness is something you keep learning about your whole life, but as my honest understanding right now, at 32 years old, sitting on this balcony in the golden Austin evening. True happiness is not a destination. It is not a place you arrive at when you have achieved enough, accumulated enough, become enough. It is not waiting for you at the end of some future to-do list. If you spend your life treating happiness as a destination, you will spend your whole life traveling towards something you never quite reach. True happiness is a way of being present with your own life, right here, right now, in this moment with what is actually here, not what might be here someday, not what was here before, but what is genuinely here today. It is the warmth of a mug in your hands on a cool morning. It is laughing until your stomach hurts with someone who knows you completely. It is finishing something you worked hard on and feeling that quiet, private satisfaction, not because anyone else noticed, but because you know you gave it everything. It is lying in bed at night and feeling genuinely okay. Not ecstatic, not on top of the world, just okay. Settled, at home in your own life. It is being exactly where you are with exactly what you have and finding that, actually, it is enough. More than enough. It is good. That shift from chasing happiness to recognizing it is the most important shift I have ever made in my own life. And it did not come from achieving more or acquiring more or becoming more impressive. It came from paying attention to what was already here. The happiness was here all along. I just had to stop running long enough to see it. I want to say one more thing before I finish, because I think it is important. None of this means life is always good. None of this means difficult things do not happen or that hard seasons do not exist. They do. I've had genuinely hard periods in my life, months where everything felt heavy and the floor was hard to find. Happiness is not the absence of difficulty. That is not what I'm saying at all. Difficulty is part of life. It is woven through every human story, including mine, including yours. What I am saying is that underneath the difficulty and alongside the difficulty, there is usually still something good, something small and quiet and real. A warm cup of tea, a kind word from a friend, the sky at this exact moment going gold and pink above the rooftops of Austin. Those small, quiet, real things, they are not nothing. They are everything. They are the floor, the steady, warm, reliable feeling of being genuinely okay, even on hard days, even when it's quiet and hard to find. They are not far away. They are right here. They are always right here. So, let me bring together the key ideas from today's story one final time. The hedonic treadmill is the human tendency to adapt to good and bad events and return to the same emotional baseline, always needing something bigger to feel happy again. Excitement is a spike, loud, temporary, and dramatic. Happiness is a floor, quiet, steady, and always present underneath everything else. Filled means something gives you genuine energy and well-being. Drained means something takes that energy away. Surface connections are relationships that are wide but not deep. Many people, not much intimacy. A destination is a place you are traveling toward. True happiness is not a destination. It is a way of being present with your own life right now. And the floor, the steady, warm, reliable feeling of being genuinely okay, is always there, even on hard days, even when it's quiet and hard to find. Thank you so much for sitting with me on this balcony tonight. This story came from a very honest place, and I hope it landed somewhere honest in you too. Keep learning English, keep showing up for yourself, and remember, the good things in your life right now, today, exactly as things are, they're worth noticing, they're worth celebrating, they're worth being grateful for. If today's story meant something to you and you want to keep learning natural, real English with stories that go a little deeper, please subscribe to Free Daily English right here on YouTube, completely free. New stories every week, made with care just for you. Thank you. Take care, and I'll see you in the next story. Bye-bye.